Today, we are opening up the brain's own filing cabinet. We're going to explore a powerful, invisible system that literally shapes your reality, often without you even noticing it. We're talking about mental frameworks called schemas.
So, let me ask you something. Just think about your average day. All the faces you see, the conversations you have, the millions and millions of bits of information coming at you. How on earth does your brain handle all of that without just, shutting down?
Well, the answer is surprisingly elegant. It uses these mental shortcuts, these frameworks called schemas. You can think of them as your brain's secret weapon for making sense of an incredibly complex world fast.
Okay, so to really get a handle on this, let's start with a really helpful analogy. I want you to imagine your brain as a huge, incredibly well-organized filing cabinet.
And this quote just nails it, right? A schema is like a folder in that filing system. So every time you encounter something new, your brain doesn't have to start from zero. Nope. It just quickly finds the right folder to drop that new piece of information into. It's an unbelievably efficient system.
So this filing cabinet idea is great. It really helps visualize it. But let's get a little more precise here. What exactly is a schema, in technical terms?
This whole concept was really central to the work of the famous psychologist Jean Piaget. He described a schema as an organized packet of information, a mental structure that we build up from all of our past experiences. It's what we use to classify and make sense of everything, from a coffee cup to a complicated social event.
And here's a perfect, simple example of how it all starts. Imagine a toddler. They see a four-legged, furry creature for the first time. A parent points and says, "That's a dog." And boom, just like that, a new mental folder, a dog schema, is created. Now, furry, four-legged things have a place to go in that mental filing cabinet.
Okay, but obviously the world is way more complicated than just one kind of dog, right? So how does the brain keep all these folders organized when new and sometimes confusing information comes pouring in?
Piaget had a name for this. He called it equilibration. Your brain has this deep biological urge for balance. It wants your mental folders to neatly match up with the world outside. When they don't, when something just doesn't quite fit, you feel this little bit of mental friction, this imbalance. That feeling is exactly what pushes us to learn and update our files.
And we do this organizing in two main ways. The first one, assimilation, is the easy one. That's when new information just slides perfectly into a folder we already have. But the second one, accommodation, that's where the real learning happens. This is when something new just refuses to fit, and we're forced to either change an existing folder or create a whole new one.
Let's go back to our toddler. They see a poodle. It's furry, it's got four legs. Perfect. It fits right into their dog folder. Easy. That's assimilation. But then they go to a farm and see a cow. Now it also has four legs, but it's huge, it moves, it's definitely not a dog. Trying to stuff cow into the dog folder just doesn't work. So the brain accommodates. It creates a brand new cow folder. That moment right there is learning in its purest form.
Now, of course, schemas aren't just for kids learning about animals. They are running the show in our complex adult lives every single day. Let's look at a couple of quick examples.
We all have what are called event schemas, or scripts. Think about going to a restaurant. You don't have to puzzle it out every time, right? You already have a script. You wait to be seated, you get a menu, you order your food, you eat, you pay the bill. That schema just runs on autopilot, saving you a ton of mental energy.
We also rely heavily on role schemas. These are basically our built-in expectations for how people should act in certain roles. You have a schema for how a teacher should behave, or a parent, or even how a guest should act at a dinner party. These scripts help us navigate our social world without having to guess what everyone's going to do next.
All right, and this brings us to what might be the most mind-bending part of all of this. Schemas don't just help us understand the present moment, they actually reach back and shape our past.
You see, way back, a researcher named F.C. Bartlett discovered something huge. He found that our memory doesn't work like a video camera, passively recording everything exactly as it happened. Instead, it's a process of reconstruction. And guess what the building blocks are? Our schemas.
This is such a critical point. We don't record memories, we reconstruct them. Every time you recall something, you're not just hitting play. You are actively rebuilding that memory. And your brain uses your existing schemas, your current beliefs and knowledge, to fill in the gaps. It's a creative act.
So here's the big paradox, the double-edged sword of schemas. On one hand, they're absolutely essential. Without them, we'd be completely overwhelmed. They make our world manageable.
But on the other hand, they can act like blinders. They can cause us to misinterpret or sometimes completely ignore anything that doesn't fit neatly into the folders we've already created. So, I'll leave you with this final thought. If your own personal filing system, your schemas, are constantly filtering your reality based on what you already think you know, what amazing, important, and true things might you be missing out on?